Yeah, I have no English name, so my name has always been straight Ghanaian, Papa Kwame.
Wow. Alright guys, hi, it's your guy Mr. Lots. Yes, and this is Win or Lose, we move. And today, I'm joined by a very special guest. I always say this when I see him. Sometimes they think that they lie, but it be truth. My guy himself, Mista Silva, I call him Mr. Pioneer. Some of the sounds you guys are hearing right now, some of these guys had to build and break some barriers for some of us to walk through, the younger generations for us to walk through. And Mista Silva being one of them. I'm always happy when I see this guy. Obviously one of the most humblest guys I've come across personally. So Charlie, welcome, Charlie, welcome. Thank you for your time. I appreciate them. Honestly, I appreciate you. Today we are here playing the beautiful game of Aware. But whilst we're playing, obviously I just want to speak to you and let's just talk.
Yeah, man.
You know, I feel like sometimes it's very easy for people to forget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People try to forget or they think they are forgetting. But remind them. You know what I'm saying? As I said, when the wave hit, there was a big wave that hit in terms of African sound or over 10 years ago. I would say, especially with the Ghana movement, Afro sound and whatnot, what we're doing. And I just want to speak to you about, obviously you're one of the guys that built this thing and put a flag on this thing sort of thing. And I want to speak to you about, firstly about that time, you know, the sound and why you, because you didn't have to, because people also forget, you were influenced by everything. Hip-hop, garage, everything. I've seen you spit.
Very true.
So you could have done the normal landing guy and spit.
100%.
So what I want to know is, why didn't you and why choose to basically champion this Afro sound from your motherland Ghana? So what? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man. As you said, man, I could have easily done like the basic genres that I did. Not to say they're basic, but like grime, hip hop, etc., etc. But I think God was preparing me always, in general, to represent Africa because growing as a young boy, my father would give us that heritage. Not many people know I'm a royal from where I come from.
In Ghana, right?
In Ghana, which is in a Chim Kutuku row. Both sides. My mom's a row, my dad's a row.
Oh, wow.
So, like naturally, my dad was always giving us the traditional feeling, like to let us know, say, oh, this is where you come from. You're in England, but you come from here, etc., etc. So I've always had that little thing, and then at the same time, my name as well. I don't have no English name.
Oh really?
Yeah, I have no English name, so my name has always been straight Ghanaian, Papa Kwame.
Wow.
And then in primary school, having that name, Papa Kwame, growing up, they would, like in school, people like to make fun. So all the time, I always had this stigma of Africa and this thing around, and I was the only one that was always like, what do you mean? Like I was always proud, like always fighting, always like, no, Africa, you get me? So yeah, I think those things were installing into me. And then as I got older and older, going through things, I did a bit of grind, did a bit of funky here and there. It wasn't going on, it was going places, it was building me,
of course.
You know. But then the African music was always around me. I was going to events like in Oops nightclub in Manjaro.
Wow.
If you know about Oops, this is the foundation of the Ghanaian culture or African culture, I should say, in London. So I was going to these places and I was always getting influence from the African things, and the feeling I got from the African music was always love, was always happiness, was always joy, was always enjoyment. You know what I mean? Every time we would go to events at these places, Ghana Independence, you name it, it's lit, we're enjoying. I go to another grime event, madness is going on. I go to this event, madness is going on. So I was thinking, right, like, this is actually man's thing, the African thing, because when we go there, it's a different energy we're receiving than when we go to the other place. So I just started doing it more, and people were like, oh, like usually your sound and the way you do your thing, it's a lot of African influence. Why don't you do some African music, like Afrobeats, etc., etc. At first I was a bit skeptical. I was like, oh, how am I gonna jump on this thing? Like, I was very like UK-ish and like, how are you gonna bring that element, like, you get me, and blend it? But I just took a leap of faith, you know, and I took that leap of faith and stepping on the Bone Sen Mama rhythm, the 5-5 YouTube bang move back beat. I stepped on that beat with the man them being Kwanzaa Flavor and A-Star. And originally we was doing it for Ghana Party in the Park as an anthem. So we just felt like we had to give them an anthem, and we made that song. And then when that song went out, I think that was the full trigger to say, yo, you need to go in this direction. You need to represent Africa and to represent your culture, because the response we got from the community, from people who are similar to us that may have been born here or may have come here when they were young, it was resounding. Like, it was like, yo, this is a whole different feeling. Everybody's embracing the culture. They're singing the lyrics that are in Tree mixed with the English. Like, it was bringing people back to their roots. You know what I mean? So I would say it was that era that kind of led me into fully engulfing in it and saying, okay, after Born 7, I said, I'm gonna take this serious. This is the pathway that God has laid in front of you. Get on this pathway and inspire the generations that are behind you or even in front of me to say that, yo, Africa is here. We're also we're good. We're more than good, you know. So why are we not being represented to the level that deserves to be represented? You know what I mean? So as we continue to do so, you know, Boom came, more songs came with him, the project, nominations, awards, etc., etc. So yeah, I just felt like I had to represent people of similar background, of origin, like me, and tell them to be confident in what they come from and what they do, because it can take you places. So that's how I felt.
Well, before we since we continue, we're gonna start the game now.
Yeah, man.
Shall I go first?
Yeah, go first.
So I'm gonna start, but I'm still gonna ask questions. Obviously, as you mentioned, that you were at the height of your career. You guys were doing all these things, winning awards, everything great, everything new. Now, obviously, let's talk about the nature. There's been obviously that growth. Obviously, you guys spread this thing, and all of a sudden, African music, Ghanaian music, Nigerian music, whatever, has become popular now. Now, what do you feel like you guys as pioneers right now? Obviously, I would say it personally. I would say sometimes people forget. I think you guys are still there. I think yourself and the guys you mentioned, Kwam's playing, these guys, you guys are still making good music, personally. So I think for yourself, where do you think, how do you feel about the growth of the genre, first of all? And where do you see, I guess, still see your place in this as well?
I feel like the growth was amazing in the beginning. And there was like a lot of support from the underground. But I felt like mainstream, it wasn't ready. I felt like we was in advanced. You know what I mean? So with that being said, like, and obviously off the back of what we've done, a lot of people got inspired and did similar things and did their thing and connected. I just feel that they weren't ready when we was coming. Like, the industry wasn't ready for that kind of music. I think the people who were in maybe record labels weren't ready to take that step, and I feel like maybe that the generation of people who were working there didn't really understand what was going on, you know what I mean, to a certain degree. So only a limited amount of people got that support, i.e. Fuse OGG, you got that full backing in that essence, you know what I mean. I did have opportunities, but obviously it didn't go in the direction I wanted it to go to, being that, like I said, I don't feel they understood and knew what to do or with the sound, you know what I mean. I feel that now the boys are still doing it. I think the boys are trying to continue. I think we're in a culture where in London people wait for people to validate and say things before they jump on it and move on it, etc., etc. And I think that's ultimately what's holding back our scene, in a way that they want someone to say, oh yeah, go to this level, they're here now, they're doing this now, oh yeah, they know that means it's popping. But I don't believe that, because the man have never stopped working, literally never stopped. Like, if you go and pre the releases, if you go and pre the videos, the man have never actually stopped, you know what I mean? They just kept pushing, you know what I mean? But obviously next generations have come and made their spin off of it and done their thing. So it would look like, okay, how comes them man have popped and done this, and these men ain't ready to tear. But yeah, I just feel like we're still pushing, we're still going, we're still trying to get to the desired place that we want to get to, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think like everyone's still got a burning fire in them, that they feel that, nah, from what we've done is amazing, and it deserves such great flowers and such great how can I say, accolades and statures and whatever you feel like fits that picture. So yeah.
Still, it's your turn. What I would say, obviously, I see. What would you say the importance of people celebrating the old school? For me personally, I believe things like that. You guys should be celebrating. I think because the music. I think homebrews were here earlier, and they said something like the music has nothing has. No, it's my turn. Nothing has. It's not died. It's still continued.
That's what I'm saying.
People, obviously, there's assumption. Obviously, sometimes think, oh, it's dead, but it's not. No, it's not died. It's continued. So I guess for someone like yourself who has, I would say, has been putting out some amazing music recently, how do you, well, personally for yourself, how have you sort of kept on refreshing your sound and doing what you're doing on that height?
For me, I just kept doing me and believing. I believe it's me. You went.
Yeah.
I just kept doing me and kept believing. To be fair. So, and just trying to stay focused and see what I can do to influence and really just continue to do me, man, and not to stress really.
Still you.
Not to stress, man. I just know that God has blessed man already, and is still blessing man, and just focus on the gift that's already been given. The stuff that happens exterior, let it happen. You know what I mean? But because if man tries to focus on those other things, it will become too stressful, and that will deteriorate the creativity. You know what I mean? And try to do my best, man, and just know that this is my calling. This is what I'm made for. Wherever happens. Yeah. If it goes there, it goes there. It doesn't. Like you said, regardless we move. So that's what it is. Regardless of what you may think, or what they may think, or whatever has happened, the essence of it all is the music. Essence of it all was to continue making music, because the music was doing greatness for the people, and it did great impact for the people, and it still doing great impact for those who are listening to it. You know what I mean? So that's the essence, really and truly, just to stay focused on that, man, and could do what I love, innit? Like I said, the gift is from God, and when God says He's ready to make man lift up again, He go lift man up. So that's what I believe still.
It's your turn. Obviously, you mentioned regardless we move, and I said I'm all here for celebrating. How do you feel like when you go out, and obviously, like I've seen you recently go out and you're performing, and I see the energy, and obviously we are lucky enough to have you coming to our WM event on the 24th. Let's not forget that. And I can't wait for your session, and obviously we're doing that to celebrate you. So I'm celebrating the old school sort of vibe. That's what it's all centered around. Old school vibe, old school sounds. But obviously, don't mention the old school sound, old school vibes. You've been working. Recently I saw you in Ghana. Saw you in music video, and you're in the boys. I see it. So what kind of people are expecting? What can we expect this year from Silva himself?
You can expect more bangers, man. Yeah. More good music, man.
More gyrating music. I want to dance. Somebody can't watch it.
Oh, tell you, you know. So good music, man. Just great music, man, and just great music, bro. Yeah. Expect great music. I've been working on projects, like I said, and stuff in Ghana, and continue to go on my journey, and I was out there shooting videos and whatnot. So there's good music lined up, man. As always, man.
And what kind of people expect when they see you live?
You know me, it's an energy thing.
Come on.
No. So great energy.
Still you.
Just great vibes and great energy from you, man. Literally. Yeah. That's what I'm on, man.
No, I love that.
I'm on, man.
I love that.
You know.
Last but not least, before I let you go, obviously I said people for more flavor from yourself, from the man himself, Mista Silva. You know what it to be. While celebrating the music, we're enjoying the music. Hope you guys are listening and tuning in. I want to talk to you about something that I think we spoke about recently. I think your fusion. Again, I feel like that's what you're doing again. Fusion all your sounds. My sounds that you were doing already. Whether it was a zonto, a garage, whatever you were doing.
100%.
Because people think, let's say the whole piano sound is new. But I think you indicated me and said, "Lots like, yo, this is not new. We've been doing this and been hearing this." But how has it been like for you just to be doing sounds or bring those sounds alive in your music right now?
It's been nice. It's been rejuvenating, and it just shows me that music is a cycle, and sometimes just comes back in a different tempo, or different a bit more advanced. I see I'm a piano as a funky 2.0. It's basically that. It's very similar in the way people vibe, dance, hosting, DJs, etc., etc. It's very similar, you know what I mean? So it's been exciting to incorporate and feel that sound. I also feel that piano is a bit like Adwa. You get me? It's that vibe. That's why Ghanaians really connect to it as well. You go Ghana, you see Ghana,
they love it out there,
left, right, and centre, because it's got that kind of elements to it as well. You get me? So I think it's dope. I think it's dope, man. I think it's really dope.
Wow, I feel like I'm enjoying that for myself. I feel like the way the game is going. I think I won here.
Oh, you win now.
Yeah.
The man today for the game, sir.
No, but honestly, bro, obviously, as I said again, thank you. Thank you so much for being a pioneer. Thank you so much for always being available. I think that's what people sometimes lack. You know, sometimes is you do what you're doing and it's like, oh yeah, I just go get in my corner and just be in my space. And as you said, sometimes in a community or let's say a community or a seat where sometimes it doesn't feel like the love is reciprocated, you've always stayed constant and somehow you've always stayed available. 100%. Even for the up and coming youngest, whatever, even host DJs. Bro, I've seen you around with the DJs and the man them doing things with Jules and whether it be an event where you're just there spinning on the thing. Seeing you, bro. So again, thank you so much.
It's just remembering where man's from, innit?
Oh, come on, man.
Knowing that the community I'm from the community. People need to understand before anything that man was in the raves.
It's true.
Man was in there dancing. Man was doing all that.
It's true.
The same way you're doing that.
So can you dance?
Oh, come on.
Hey!
I go dance.
What, you're dancing on the 24th, yeah?
Oh, we'll go dance. I be invited to the play. I don't go free stand there.
Come on.
Be on some.
Doing the boys that man
no, I don't be that guy. Me, I came to vibe.
Vibes.
I didn't come to stand there. I came to vibe and enjoy. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the vibe, bro.
I love that. Again, bro, thank you so much for joining us. And yes, it's been win or lose. Regardless, we move. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my brother.
Thank you.
Sorry, why Mr. Silva? How did you come up with the name?
Okay.
Oh, you're recording, right?
Yeah, Mr. Silva. I'll say, okay, I've had different names, but anyway, Mr. Silva came through when I started doing raves. People who know me.
Why not good?
Oh, I did talk now. So
sorry.
And the silver no be gold as in gold and silver. The SILVA, and it came from when I was doing raves. I have a family friend called Mista Silva. He was a senior to me, and obviously when we started a promotion group. The group was called Fresh to Death Entertainment / Silver Family PR. Wow. So everybody had a little twist to their name. My name was Mr. Silva. We had Sidon Silva. We had JR Silva, we had Zion Silva, Mikhail Silva. So it was like the family name.
Fair enough.
But obviously, as I started to do the music, I incorporated the name and I added to it. So the Silva itself stands for spiritual, inspirational, lively, versatile artist.
Wow.
So that's what
Come on, clap from the back. I love that one. The meaning, the depth.
Meaning the inside.
Charlie.
So not just be say I be silver.
I do feel you.
The S be the spiritual side. I'm a spiritual person. You get me? And then that I be inspirational because I inspire people.
Sure.
And when I touch the place L, I be lively.
Wow.
And then when I enter, I be very versatile.
Hey, come on, G. Hey, Nana.
I dey be the artist.
Come on, hey, yo, I respect. I love that one.
Yeah.
Is it a rap?
Yeah, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Well, thank you so much again, my guy.
Bless up.
Where can the people see you next? Be telling them what event are you going to be at?
Obviously, be your yourself.
Yeah, so tell them where you be.
Regardless, we move on the 24th of February. UK Afrobeats special.
You know the vibes.
You know? Trust me. Legendary steez.
Come on.
I'll be understand.
Allah.
Come on, Baba.
Thank you. Yeah, Baba. Brother, thank you, man.